Hi, everybody.
Dog's out back staring at the neighbors.
I'm just going to give everybody a couple of seconds to get on. Hi. Hi, everybody. Just gonna give everybody a few minutes to jump on. Hi, Susan. I see. I'm good. I'm glad you can see it. Hi, Suzanne. Tonight, guys, we're going to be doing the paper pumpkin. So if any of you have the March paper pumpkin and want to craft along with us, feel free. I'm just going to give everybody a minute or two more to hop on. Hope everybody's doing well. And everybody's keeping busy. I see some thumbs up there. Is everybody crafting so much more? I thought I'd be crafting so much more than I am. I mean, I'm crafting, but I just, life still is getting in the way of my crafting. But it's all good, right? All right, well, hi everybody. Tonight we're going to do the March paper pumpkin. And these are the 3 cards that we're going to be working on. This is one of the cards. Love the boots. That's really my favorite on that card. And the other card that we're going to be working on is this one with the clouds. No matter the weather, we're in this together, which I think is really appropriate for, you know, unfortunately the time we're in. Oh, Suzanne, you're working more? That's no fun. And this is the 3rd card here with the boots as well, which I kind of love the rain boot theme. It's really, really great. All right, so those of you that do get paper pumpkin, you know this is the box that it comes in every month. And you can see the matching rain boots. So when you open up your box, I opened up mine already. You're going to get usually the flyer when it comes with the directions. And I find the directions sometimes to be a little bit confusing, but you know, whatever works for you. I usually just look at the picture and try to recreate it myself. That's how I usually do it. And inside the box, you are going to get lacing cord, that linen thread. You're going to get, and these are going to probably be hard to see on camera, but you're also going to get these little raindrops and little circular beads. You're going to get your dimensionals, as well as your glue dots. Now, Stampin' Up! Sells the glue dots on a roll, but the paper pumpkin, they usually, in the card kits, they usually sell them, include them like this. This is a little bit harder for some people, but whatever works for you. And then you're going to get everything that you need to make for the card. So in this kit, you're going to get 4 of the cloud, plus the coordinating envelope. You're going to get 4 of this design, which actually goes this way, with the coordinating envelope. And then you're going to get 4 of these with the coordinating envelope. Okay, so I'm just going to put those aside for now. And then you're going to get everything that you need to make the cards. Now, I pulled mine apart, like I said before. So I'm just going to move this over here. And you can see all the pieces that you get. And they usually give you more than you need. Usually at least one extra set in case you make a mistake. And then with this month's Paper Pumpkin, they gave you an extra stamp set. The boots, some flower design boots, a little house, a basket, like a plant with some flowers, the bunny. So this is a great little extra. And sometimes they do that with Paper Pumpkin, which is really fun. All right, so tonight we're going to be working with this stamp set that they gave us. And they always give you the ink. Tonight I'm not going to use my Stampin' Spot. I am going to use my regular ink pad. So let's get started. So the first card I'm going to work on is this card right here. And this one is the one with the little part of the umbrella, the girl standing there in her rain boots. First thing I'm going to do is collect all the pieces that I need for this card. So for this card, I need one of these. This I'm going to pull from here. I need my rain boots from here. So I'm just going to pop that out, and no cutting. Everything's already pre-cut for you, which is great. So I need my rain boots. I'm going to need some of my Baker's Twine thread, and I'm going to need 3 of my stamps. I'm going to need this stamp. I'm going to need the saying that says you are capable of amazing things, and the raindrops. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my card using my bone folder. Just going to crease it. And then I'm going to take my rain dots, I'm going to ink them up, and I'm just gently going to sporadically place them where I want them. I'm not going to go crazy, just every once in a while put some raindrops on here. Not being afraid to go off the page. I think that's enough of our raindrops. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and this almost looks like street tracks or like a little track. And as you can see on the bottom of the card, it's right here. So we're going to stamp that next. Again with our basic gray. I'm going to ink my card up, my stamp up. And I'm going to kind of line it right up at the bottom of my card and go right across. I don't really want it too dark, but that's just my preference. And then I'm going to go one more layer on top. And give it a little bit of, almost looks like puddles in the street. Okay. And then while I'm working on that, I'm going to grab my saying. You are capable of amazing things. I'm going to ink that up, and I'm going to put it right on my blue little banner here. It's already been flagged for me. And you want to, you know, however you want to. If you want your banner to go this way, or if you want your banner to go the other way, I'm going to put my banner this way. And I'm just going to line it up here. I'm going to stamp my image. Okay. Now, so you have all of your stamping done. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my linen thread. And basically what they did was they wrapped it around the actual card 3 times and then tied it in a bow. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with my linen thread and kind of leave myself a little bit of room on this side. And I'm just going to take it. Not really worrying about where it is right now, because I can always move it. And I'm just going to turn it around 3 or 4 times. Bring it back to that other side. And I'm just going to take my paper snips, trim it. And now you're going to watch me attempt to tie a bow, which I'm usually pretty good at, but going live, that may not be the case. Okay. And I'm just going to adjust. Oh, I didn't get that. Let's try again. Like I said, I'm usually pretty good at the bow tying, just I didn't leave myself a lot of room here, so let's try one more time. If not, we're just going to cut this and just give it some tails. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my boots and I'm going to actually put dimensionals on there. Dimensionals are great. For those of you who don't know what dimensionals are, is little puffy foam pieces with adhesive on both sides, and it gives the card a little bit of dimension. So if you see here in this card, you can actually see my dimensionals are down there, but when you look at it straight on, you can see it kind of has a little bit of a dimension. It pops it up a little bit. So I'm going to take my boots, flip them over, and I'm going to put some dimensionals on there. Now, I'm going to put dimensionals on both corners, and then I'm also going to put a dimensional in the center, just so when this goes on my card, the center doesn't go down a little bit. You want it to pop up evenly. So I am going to bring my card back in. And I'm going to line up my boots, my green boots, with her green boots. So I'm just going to line them up the best I can. Press down. And there are your boots. Okay, I could adjust my tails here for my ribbon. Okay. Then the last thing that we want to do for this card is we're going to take and we're going to put our saying on here. Now, you can do one of two things. You could put adhesive on the back of it and just put it down on your card. Or I think I'm actually going to pop this one up. So again, I'm going to take my banner with my saying, and I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on here and pop them up. Bringing my card back in. And just laying that where I want it. Pressing it down. And there it is. You have your first card. Now, you do have these little gem pieces. They're little raindrops. You can actually take these. Take my tool pick here. And you can pick them up. They're really hard to see. And you can actually put them on your card. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Right there. And it gives your card a little bit of dimension on the raindrop. So you can go and they give you a ton of them, so you could go ahead and do a few of these anywhere you want. I'm only going to do a couple for time-wise, but you could always go back and add yours on here. Okay. So that's your first card. Now, the next card that we're going to be working on is the Cloud card. Now, what I love about this card is that even though it's like rainy and cloudy, it's such a pretty card. To me, this would be a great card to send somebody who's really down, or is maybe having some hard times. And what's great about them is they're note size, so you can write anything you want in here, and send it off to a friend or somebody you know who's having a hard time. I know a lot of us have been talking about sending cards to some of the nursing homes. So, what is the tool in my hand? This is called the Take Your Pick tool, and Stampin' Up! Sells it. I know a bunch of other places. I have one from We Are Memory Keepers. I know they sell them in the store as well, Suzanne. It is a paper piercing tool on one side, and then the other side, it actually has a little bit of putty. I don't know if you can see that. And you're able to pick things up. So if I had, say like some kind of gem or something, I actually have a Post-it here. I can pick it up and put it on my card instead of trying to use tweezers or something like that. So it's a really great tool. I use it all the time. Like I said, Stampin' Up! Calls it Take Your Pick tool. Some people call them, you know, paper piercer, and but like I said, a lot of the times they sell them with the little putty on one side. This is a little bit easier to see, I think, and the paper piercer on the other. So let's get started on this card. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our card. We're going to fold it in half. I think so. I think this is the same thing, Suzanne. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that it is. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to stamp our clouds. So I'm going to grab my stamps for this one. This one you're going to need, no matter the weather, we're in this together. And you're going to need your 2 clouds. Okay, so I'm going to start with my big cloud first. Okay, and this one I'm going to ink up with the basic gray. And I'm going to go about halfway down my card and just stamp. Ink it up again. This time I'm going to go to the top of my card and stamp. And I'm going to come down here and just kind of stamp it a little bit off to the side. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my other little cloud. And what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to ink this up really well. I'm going to stamp off. Hi, Jerry. I'm going to stamp off, and I'm actually going to, so it's a little bit lighter. Stamp off. Stamp it again. You can see it's definitely lighter this time than the other cloud. It kind of gives it a little bit of dimension. Stamp off, and maybe add one more down here. Okay. So that is our clouds. Then what you're going to need, you're going to go back to your sheet. You're going to need the yellow rain boots. So you're going to take those. And then you're also going to go back to this sheet, and you're going to need one of the circles. And again, everything is already pre-cut for you. You just pop it out. So while we're stamping, we're going to take No Matter the Weather. We're in this together. I'm going to ink that up in basic gray. And I'm going to stamp that right in the center of my circle. Okay. And then the other thing that I'm going to grab is I'm going to grab the flowers from this page. So the yellow boots, the flowers, my circle, and again, we're going to need some of that linen thread. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to take my circle, and I'm not going to pop this up because I want my boots to be popped here. As you can kind of see, there's a little bit of a dimension there. I want this to be flat and I want my boots to pop. So I'm just going to take some of my adhesive. Using my snail, I'm going to take some of my adhesive and I'm going to put that right about there. Press it down. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my linen thread and I'm going to wrap this around a few times to give that a little bit. And with this one, I'm just going to tuck it in the back. I'm not going to tie a bow with this one. So I'm going to turn my boots over, add a little bit of snail, and glue those down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dimensionals again, and I'm going to put one on the top, one on the bottom. And I'm actually going to add my boots, kind of cradle them right along. I want them laying on the grass, but I also want them like kind of right next to my saying there. Okay. Then I'm going to take my flowers. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pop those up. Add 2 dimensionals to the back of it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of overlay it on top of the boots, but not over my words. Almost like it's kind of coming out of the boots. And then the same thing that you can do here is you can take these little circular dots that come with your paper pumpkin and you can put them, they're very slippery, these things. Can you guys still hear me? I see it's buffering. I think we had some technical difficulties. Lost me. Oh, wait, am I back now, Carmen? I think I'm having problems with the internet. Can you hear me now or no? All right, I think we might have lost live connection. Can you go back to this video afterwards? Yes, you can. So if I don't know how long I was you can't listen to me, but you couldn't hear me, but you could definitely go back. I kept my end running, so I'll definitely, I mean, it'll be posted and you'll actually be able to see the whole thing. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't know I was having some issues. I guess there's so many people online now because of everything that's going on. I guess it just kind of is a little hard to keep everybody online. I hope you guys can hear me now. All right, so this is this card. And then the last card that we're going to do is this one. Okay, so I'm going to grab what I need for this card. For this card, you're going to need the boots with the flowers. Again, just punch it right out. You're going to need the rabbit. And you're going to need one of these hearts. You're also going to need one of these. Hi, Debbie. And you're going to need your linen thread. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is going to fold my card in half. And first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stamp that kind of looks like almost pebbles or sand. I'm going to ink that up. And I'm going to stamp that right on the bottom of my card. And then I'm going to take my saying, which this one says, "Let love grow." And I'm just going to ink that up with my basic gray. Stamp that right in the center. And then we're going to assemble our card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these boots. Aren't these cute? And I'm going to take some dimensionals. And I'm going to pop these up. And I'm going to lay them right along the line of that gray there. Okay, then I'm going to take my Let Love Grow, and we're going to put that right about there. So we're going to, again, take two dimensionals, put one on each of the ends there. And add that to the bottom. Then I'm going to take my bunny, and while I'm popping everything up, I might as well pop up my bunny. And I'm going to add him next to my boots. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of adhesive, and I'm going to add my heart right above the bunny. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my thread. I'm going to tie a bow. And then I'm just going to trim adjust my bow here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of those glue dots that I had, and I'm going to actually put it right on the side right here of my Let Love Grow sign. And I'm going to turn my bow sideways. Okay. Then I can also take some of those, I guess they're like epoxy little dots, and I can put them on my card. And that is the card, guys. I can maybe put one on his nose, give his nose a little dimension. And that is your card. So, like I said, Paper Pumpkin, for those of you that do have it, I'm sure you know it's great. Every month it comes right to your door. And it has everything you need to make the cards. And then what you can do is you can always make it your own. You don't have to follow the directions. So guys, thanks for coming and stamping with me tonight. I'm sorry about the internet. I hope came back on, or I'm talking to myself. I don't know. But have a great night, and I will talk to you all soon. Take care.